Okay, I will call to order this meeting of the Parks Recreation Conservancy Committee meeting to order. Is there any,
Roll call, please.
roll call. Oh, I don't, do you have a sheet that has like? It's
For the next meeting, I will.
Mine doesn't have that. Okay, roll call.
Trustee Borker.
Yep. Oh, I have this.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I just don't have like the official thing.
Okay, Trustee Borker.
Here.
Ron Nutowski.
Here.
Jennifer Bonte. Anna Whitlinger.
Here.
Emily Spahn.
Here. Okay, see, I don't have the, do I just go into reports then?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, public comment first.
Yep.
Okay, is there any public comment today? Anyone on the internet?
There is not.
All right, then we can go in for reports. The only report that I had was that, and I don't know if you're going to say any more about this, but the village board would like us to discuss the, change in ordinance to bikes, I mean, mainly regarding e-bikes and electric scooters. But I asked that we could have some additional time, so it will be on our June agenda. And so just so you have some time to really research and look into this. And then I asked Carly if she would send out the draft ordinance that was shared from the public safety. With that, otherwise, that's it. And also I'm excited to work with all of you now in Parks and Rec. This is where I started in local government, yeah.
Maybe there's a name tag for you at the bottom from when you were here.
All right, are there any committee members with reports? All right, Parks and Recreation staff, do you have any reports?
Well, we want to introduce Kane.
Yeah.
He is our Parks and Rec director. He's on day 11 at the village.
Well, I've only
Kane is.
twice, so I got locked out a couple times. Well, I set the alarm off and then I got locked out the next day, so it's going well.
But that was the last week situation. It's a
Yeah,
new week.
like I said, I wouldn't have showed up today if I did that on Friday, so.
So we're doing.
Glad you did show up.
Yeah.
But he's been at the pool pretty much.
Mhm.
That's what you've been doing for the last 11 days. So it's ready to open.
And how's it going?
Oh, you know, could be better. Like, obviously, like anything, so like, I don't know where stuff is, and then, you know, a lot of the stuff in there is pretty old, and then you're like searching through things and, you know, like the basic mechanics of it all are the same across any pool, but there's just like some weird little things that they did when they made some fixes
Oh, yes.
that I don't understand.
Definitely like the guy for Jimmy rigging, like.
Yeah, they might have some more history than I do.
Yeah, it's
Hot putty.
Yeah, hey, I'm fine with pool putty and stuff is great, but like some of the weird like things that just make it not super functional, but it is what it is.
Okay, we go back because I actually found something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I volunteered at the Trout Days.
Oh, yeah.
5K, and if I was really successful, Sarah ran in it. I don't know how her feelings were, but people seemed very excited about the timing and the
Yeah.
medals. And I don't know if anyone called you. I had said, because there were a few people that wanted t-shirts, and I
Yeah.
just kind of lied to them. And I just said, but I said like, oh, we might have some extras
Yeah.
to like call village staff in like a week.
Yeah.
So I did tell them that, but
Okay.
I don't know if anybody.
Bye.
Well, I just was like, I was like, well, I don't really know.
There were some left over. I don't know if
Yeah, I don't know if anybody called.
Matt had
I just
gotten
didn't
called.
know.
Okay.
They were, I had said that they could call and check and
Okay.
see if they wanted one. But overall, I thought it went really well. And then the woman that volunteered with me, she seemed like she had a great time, and we both said we would help.
Yeah, I know you
Next
already
year.
committed yourself
We did.
to next year. Yeah.
Just with some like, kind of like things that we thought of that could probably make it run even smoother, but I thought it overall went really well.
Awesome.
I'd second that.
Yeah.
We're up there and
We were.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
pretty much.
great. I thought everything went well. We seemed to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
There wasn't any, it's a good time in the morning, so.
I think the course was a little short. I did get that
was the
feedback.
first thing that Ian who once said, he's like, course felt short. I'm like, oh gosh, this is how you know you're like,
But that's.
smile, but still. It would have been like,
Big runners.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but you get like a PR, like
Yeah,
really good time.
Like I'm overall really
Awesome. And Lori, her name was, who was volunteering with you, she did reach out and she is interested in joining a committee of some sort. So I did pass along that Jen will be done in June. June will be her last meeting. So maybe Lori will take her place, who knows? But yeah, do I have anything? I guess there's not a spot for me because I'm
No.
not usually supposed to be here. But as village administrator, I guess, so I will definitely send out the draft ordinance for the e-bikes and the bicycles. So that started out at public safety. They'd been working on it for a while. I think, yeah, Cameron kind of led the, I think he was leading like a fireworks ordinance that was kind of separate. And then the public safety committee was all doing, e-bikes and bike stuff. And yeah, the general consensus at the board meeting was to bring it back to Parks and Rec so that we could all chime in on that. So there's been a lot of communities that are grappling with e-bike and scooter ordinances. So it's new to everybody. So people are doing it in very different ways. So it'll be interesting to see which work and which don't work. So I think punting it down a little, the ways a little bit is a good idea. But yeah, I think that's what I've got. So we can go on to.
Okay, then we can go on to discussion and possible action to approve the BRC minutes of March 18th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve minutes from March 18th, 2026.
I will second.
Oh, all those approved, say aye.
Aye.
All those, what am I trying to say?
Opposed.
In favor, opposed, say nay. All right, it passes. Then going on to number 2, discussion regarding parkland in Marchstone Development Phase 2.
You guys can come up if you'd like.
Signing a new committee.
Yeah, you haven't been to this one yet. Making your rounds,
New
Jeff.
Facebook, yeah, this is probably the toughest one in the phase. My name is Jeff Hain, son Kyle, we are the developers of Marchstone. Thanks for letting us be here tonight because we got a couple big meetings coming up first part of June. We're optimistic that they're gonna go well. Assuming they do, we need to, well, we will be platting the remaining lands of Marchstone, about 400 acres. Park fees and so forth for phase 1 are all agreed upon, so we're moving to phase 2. And our biggest question is because as through the last year and a half, not strongly either way, but it's been kind of talked about, do we want fees for the potential pool? Do we want parkland? Do we want a combination of both? So, you know, we don't really have an opinion either way. I don't think some type of park would be a bad idea. For those that may not know, part of our water reservoir agreement that's been approved by the village talks about the need for the reservoir, which if I'm kind of jumping around here, but if you look at the far right side, the north and south rectangle right there, Carly had, that's just for discussion's sakes where we've thrown a 8-acre park. Regardless of what ultimately happens, there will be 1.25 acres approximately reserved in that area for the reservoir. And that was all part of the water reservoir agreement.
For stormwater.
That's for a new, like, I'm gonna say tower, but we're not doing a tower,
It
we're
holds
doing. a
500,000 gallons.
For our benefit and the village's benefit. So again, we're just here knowing that of that 8 acres, it's a little over that, but of that 8 acres, 1.25 would be carved out for the reservoir. And we're just here, I guess, to start the discussion because again, hopefully things go well in June, and by mid-June, we're starting the process of the preliminary plat for this 400 acres. And a part of that will be what we do with the park.
And just to orient yourselves, so this is like Burr Oak Trail, which goes to Stagecoach. So that's all town of Cross Plains over here. So this would kind of abut.
That's not intending to connect, correct?
So it won't be connecting, but we do want to leave it as an option to connect. So the town is very, very against there being a connection. But we do want to leave that open in case the tides turn a little bit, because that's then an access point to Highway 14. So
Is that farmland or is that wooded or a combination?
It's
Remember,
probably 50-50. Open and trees.
there's some, I know there's farm fields in there and it's kind of
Exactly.
dispersed.
There's different pockets and part of that. As you mentioned is if there's an open patch, if
Yeah.
you will,
What's the elevation of that?
it's tall.
It's like a top tall.
Yeah.
So how, if that was a park, how would people, like, would it be up at the top of the hill?
That'd be up to you guys.
The access to that right now would be off of Burr Oak, it looks, or I guess there's a road there, right? Oh, no, there's a road.
yeah,
There's a road.
roads to be named.
2 roads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like that.
that, right, because yeah.
There's a north, south, and an east, west.
What's below that? Is that part of the golf course?
That'll be Conservancy.
That village will own
Yes.
and how big
Which
is
part
that?
of the lower,
This-
that lower chunk?
That looks like.
Looks like 11.4.
So
acres.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you, just taking that 8-acre chunk and putting it in there, yeah, so. And we'll have more Conservancy.
Okay.
Throughout the plat, there'll be more to the north. So we don't think we'll have a land dedication requirement for Conservancy.
Okay.
So we're really just talking about, parkland / park improvements. Or whatever the fancy terminology is. Playground improvement.
Mhm.
So again, give you an idea, I'll just hand this out. To give you some numbers.
Do you know where the reservoir is intended within that rectangle?
I believe the northern portion of it. It was all elevation based. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it is, that where we'll call it boundary line, that rectangle is.
So it's like only really one home right next to it, then kind of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, because there was, working with the village staff and engineering, there was kind of, we'll call it 3 or 4 different locations. And this was ultimately what was decided on.
Mhm.
In terms of an elevation standpoint, engineering wise, gravity, water, laundry list, if you will. So that's ultimately where that water infrastructure will. And there was discussion,
Oh, go ahead, no.
part of the reason there was nothing in phase 1 is its recommendation or suggestion, I believe, of the committees that no parks or anything was needed, just because of the proximity to the school, and I believe there is a smaller park, at Glacier Creek, just south of the school.
Mhm.
So that's, as we're kind of working through, the rest of this plat. Again, this meeting was important, but we wanted to carve out, a piece that seemed to work. It seemed the theme within the village is if there is some sort of water infrastructure, various parks attached to it. So we try to kind of keep that being consistent.
So just, and I'm sure I'll confuse you, but at least you can take this home and I guess digest it, but. Currently, that plan, I believe what you're looking at, because there's been different plans, but I believe that. If that one doesn't, we're about at 389 total lots. Phase 1 was 126. So this area will be 263 lots. If you skip down to the second box, if there were no, or so. 263 lots, you would take the land dedication for park in the first box of 1416 square feet for each lot. That would mean we would need to dedicate 8.55 acres for a park. That's our requirement. Conservancy would be 2564, but we're really not here tonight to talk Conservancy, but it just gives you a number as we move forward of what probably will be the lands for Conservancy. So if we're required, then the third box down, if we're required to dedicate 8.55 acres and the reservoirs of approximately 1.25 acres. That leaves a remaining, if everything stayed exactly the same, of that north-south rectangle, that park space, if you will, would be 7.3 acres. Now, if the commission, village, board, or all the folks said, no, we don't want any parkland. We want you to pay fees. The 7.3 acres. If you take that number multiplied by 43,560, which is how many square feet are in an acre. And you divide it by the land dedication of 1416 per village ordinance. That would equate to 224 lots. So then if you take the 224 lots and multiply it by the above figures for land dedication, the fee in lieu of, for park purposes is 2676, and the fee in lieu of playground improvement fee is 1562. If you multiply those numbers by the 224, the total, again, so only dedication we did was for the reservoir, no parkland. We would be obligated to pay the village $951,000. So it's kind of both extremes. All park, no fees. Minimum park, which means reservoir, then the fee's $951. Or, you know, a combination of both. And the numbers would be somewhere in between, obviously.
Do you have a plan for that space? If we were not to make that park, how many homes are going in there? So currently you're keeping space for the potential road, right? Something that kind of cuts it up a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we could get, let's just say 1.5 lots per acre. And I'm guessing, but it's probably pretty close. Or even say 2 lots per acre. That'd be about 14 or 15 lots. Yeah, again, the math would be 15 times 2676 and 15 times 1562.
What did you say the 43,560 is?
That's how many square feet are in an acre.
I'm getting my own mind, so I apologize. I thought it. Okay.
So I mean, the math was there was
Yeah.
7.3 acres. Come up with a square foot because that's what the ordinance is based on.
So are you looking for kind of like what our thoughts are, or do you just want to give us the information, like what you want from us?
Well, you know, ideally, we're trying to be proactive.
Yeah,
We don't have a bunch of meetings. We don't go in front of the planning commission. And we do something you guys haven't seen or approved. And then we're coming back, redoing things. I mean, you've been around.
yeah.
What we've been doing. So we're just trying to be proactive. Trying to do it as correct as possible the first time.
Less rework.
Yeah, because it costs us time and money.
Yeah, if you gotta rewrite this plan to draw in those lots, we're not gonna put a park there. What is the land below the Conservancy there? Is that town then?
Yes.
Yep. And then we
And
get
so
down
is
to
that road
14.
dead end? Oh, okay. it becomes
This
a
is
cul-de-sac.
14
Yep,
right
Yep,
here.
yep. I couldn't see the cul-de-sac.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And again, we don't expect an answer tonight. But, you know, we're happy to hear what you guys think or
open conversation.
Yeah. The more we can hear, the better. Cause I assume we'll come back in your next commission meeting in June, if that's okay. Um. And I guess we probably won't do anything in the meantime, but hopefully you guys can at that meeting give us some direction.
If we decide one way or the other, does the village board then decide, does all of the money go to Project X, or I don't even wanna say pool, right, that's what
Yeah.
this is kind of about, so,
Mhm.
like, or does it then just go into the general fund and it gets this, and then there's less for the pool, right, I just
Yeah.
understand like where
So
that.
it can be allocated to a future pool. Because it is outlined as a need, in the Parks and Open Space Plan. So that is definitely somewhere where it can go. I mean, you could like make a recommendation to,
60% of it go here.
yeah. I mean, because that's what
I didn't
you
know-
guys are able to do is make recommendations, but ultimately like Plan Commission and Village Board will make those decisions. And I mean, like for this too, since it's not actually affixed to like a preliminary plat, it could change. So it can't be like we can't like vote on it. Kind of a thing, but it can be like, in general, the plan or the Parks and Rec Committee supports the idea of having this be a park or not having this be a
What is the open space to the north there?
golf course.
That's the golf course there,
And
and
there'll
what's
be
up?
Conservancy in there too.
Okay.
Whereabouts?
Probably the easiest way to say it would be between the lots and the golf course would be Conservancy.
You can see the red lines.
Oh, these are them?
Yeah.
The red line?
This is chunk right here.
It's just.
Oh, I do have a pointer.
So there's no obvious point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always want to be a school teacher. So, it would look like this quadrant
Where those flags are.
Oh, got it,
right
okay,
here.
and then one to the east there, right in the corner of that lot.
I would probably look at this.
Yeah,
Because it's really, really steep there.
And then I think if we scooched up just a little bit. We'd probably look at this too.
is the golf course on the other side of, is it on the west side as well, or is it?
Well, so here's hole 8.
Yep,
Oops. Right.
That's probably 1, 2's here. This is 6. That's 5. 4's going down here, 3's going this way.
Mhm.
and then, so is it down to the south and?
Well, that's
west?
nice. So here's 8, here's 9, and then if we go all the way down.
Yeah, so it's over there as well?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
just that's all I wanted to know, yep, thank you.
9 to the north, 9 to the south.
Gotcha. The main conservancy lands will be, there might be some up there, but then it's that. Chunk down there,
Mhm.
which won't be accessible if there's likely houses in that.
For this area.
Yeah,
There's a little blue line of water.
Tentative, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean that, so one of my concerns would be if you dedicate. If you have houses in that northern section, because it's rectangle, right? As it's currently laid out, you would not have access to that conservancy space.
That's one of those things too that,
You make an easement or something, but
yeah, I mean.
as it's laid out.
Yes, I mean, if. Actually, okay.
Really can't have it.
You can sit back there if you want to.
I know. There'd be an opportunity, maybe put a sidewalk right here.
Yeah.
Get to this, or where are we, this Conservancy, this does have access. Here,
Do we know how wide that would be? Is there stipulations on how wide that needs to be?
The access point?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I can look into
I
it.
mean, I would think that'd be 8 to 10 feet.
I would too, but. Oops.
What other feedback do people have?
Me, personally, I would like to see Bear Park get. In whether it is a pool or, I just think that space is, underutilized, yeah, and
Yeah.
so, and I don't know, I mean, I'm trying to think about, like, put myself in the position of people living here. Would they want some little, park, which I just feel like having kids, it's like such a short amount of time that they can use those things, that I feel like in the grand scheme of things, people would be much happier to see a pool, or even just, like if soccer fields get developed or things like that, I don't.
Yeah, it's a toss up of, do you want space? Or do we need the money more than the space,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
cause I look at it as like, if I lived up here, I would wanna be able to go over to that area to play with kids, right? 'Cause you may not have a big enough yard to do that, instead now
Yeah.
you gotta drive, you know.
Yeah, I know, I kind of look at.
So yeah, right,
I
it's
know.
just. What is the
Although
best option?
I also like, after living in a new neighborhood, it's like you move in and then by the time the park gets built, your kids are, I don't know, it's.
They've aged out.
Yeah, well, cause they have to sell so many lots and things like that before, these are put in, so, I don't know. I just,
How would
Well,
you,
and then that would be up to us to decide whether we put a park in that space,
Yeah,
right?
well,
It would be planned, but are we putting
Yeah.
a playground?
right,
yeah,
Into
Glacier
our
Creek,
thing?
just get their playground funded, that would be great. But, yeah,
what about parking?
Well, that's what I was just curious about, if it's at a high point, like, and I'm not good at understanding this topography, sorry. But like, are the other houses going up too, or is it more like the houses and then you have to go up to get to the park? Yeah, like how,
like
it's hard
accessibility.
to picture it when I have no idea.
Yeah.
I've been up there, but I can't
Okay.
picture where this is in relation to, map. Yeah,
Well, I
you
mean-
could have a driveway off that road, but, cause there's gonna be one for the water reservoir.
If you look at all the lines here,
Yeah.
lines are
Steeper down here.
topography. The more the lines,
lines.
the steeper it is.
Do we know what the elevation is on each of those lines? Is it 2 foot?
I think it's 2 foot. Do you have experience that would designate how many acres a typical neighborhood playground park is?
I'm not sure on that.
Could probably look and see what our current
Yeah.
structure is.
Yeah.
My guess is it's not 7. For most of them, yeah. I mean, the new one in Scenic Valley is pretty big, it's pushing 5 or more, I would assume.
Yeah, I think it's over 5.
When we did Hawks Landing, we put a 5-acre neighborhood park in. And it has a nice playground equipment area, a basketball court, and a soccer field. To give you an example.
Mhm.
So if you don't need the soccer field, maybe that neighborhood park's 2.5. Plus the 1.5 for the reservoir, now you may maybe looking at 4 acres.
Mhm.
Just throwing numbers around, obviously, and so now you get a 4-acre park and you get $475,000.
Need me to zoom in on anything?
I'm just trying
Okay.
I'm trying to look at the lines to figure out the topography, and it looks like there's a ridge on the south east side of it, like, I'm just thinking like what you might be able to get in there anyway, right?
What, okay, this is my like selfish. I don't wanna be a rude neighbor to the township, but I also am feeling like we're providing a playground for the township. So,
Cause it's over right by that.
yeah.
Yeah, which doesn't, yeah, they don't want the road to go through,
Especially since,
which.
yeah. I mean, again, I don't wanna be,
Have you guys
I want
done this?
kids to play.
Excuse me, Sarah, you probably know this, but the town put a spike strip in there. Do you know that? They put at
It's
the
like
end
a
of the,
cul-de-sac.
at the end of the road, they
Oh.
put a 20-foot spikes. So basically, that road was platted.
Yep.
And they went back and took a 20-foot area and unplatted it, for the road.
Yep.
That's your neighbor.
just to be nice to us.
Right.
But we're also putting a 50 or 500,000 gallon reservoir right up by them too.
No,
So-
if you live by farm field, nothing stays the same.
Yeah. Back up to the.
I mean, the snowmobile trail goes through there and people complain about that back there too, that little up there because it's right behind their house. So I mean, now we'll have to go a little. Elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help them with that.
Okay. Anything else? What do you think?
Yeah.
That was some really good questions. I need to. No, I'm.
So it kind of sounds like maybe some sort of park, maybe a smaller version.
I still feel that the money could be used for something
Okay.
that this community has been talking about for a very long time, so I think we need to, from my perspective, we need to keep that in mind, right? The pool is been a community staple for as long as I've been here and before,
Mhm.
it continues to be, and it's definitely in need of repair, as we've heard, and not repair, needs to be replaced. So like that's the part I struggle with, right? Because in my opinion, having land the village owns is super important. We don't have enough. This is 7 acres. That's great. Like, let's own some land, but it's also a large value.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think what these people, if you ask them, would you rather have a pool within biking distance or?
I can tell you that Conservancy, based on the topography there, is probably pretty steep back in there, and not many people are gonna be going back in there. But it would probably be good to see if we do go the route of eliminating that space, then having access to that other Conservancy, because that's some of the issues we've faced in other areas, it's not having access.
Any other comments?
See you in a month.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff and Glenn.
How big are most of the lots in this general area, just approximately, are they half acre, quarter acre?
These ones are all 0.38.
Wait, oh, sorry, I can't. So they're like 14,000 square feet, most of those square, okay. So they're not super small, I mean, they're. Current standard
No.
lot.
Mhm.
I've seen smaller more recently, so
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, we have quite a few smaller ones in phase one.
Mhm.
yeah.
We have some 10,000 square foot ones down there. I don't know if we get much.
But they're also closer to parks. I'm more thinking like, if you have a really small lot and you don't have anywhere to go, then you gotta go somewhere, right? These folks all have. Some room to move a little bit, right?
Mhm.
I can say.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Okay, on to number 3, discussion and possible action regarding community garden in Westview Park.
All right, so this one I think we might have to scrap. So this was back in, I think it was February or March. Thank you, Jeff. That we had a resident come in. She lives on Westview Court, and she was wanting to do a community garden of some sort. So there was a ton of questions that kind of came up from that. And I had invited her, so we'd been emailing back and forth. And I like told her that the last month's meeting was canceled, and then that this meeting would be tonight. And I like followed up with her several times, and she didn't ever respond. So I'm taking that as a not this year, because it's already mid-May.
Can I start asking questions? Excellent.
Sure, but I don't think it's gonna continue on with this, so I don't know that it's really worth discussing. I don't know if,
So I used to live on Laufenburg, and there was community gardens in the boulevards that were dedicated to, helping stormwater runoff.
yeah,
And those went really awry with people not wanting to take care of them, or people move.
mhm,
And I've seen that that was a real challenge.
yeah.
They're places where it's still there, it's pretty big and pretty overgrown, if you ask me, but.
Yeah, and I think this one, the biggest challenge I think with Westview Park is just that it's kind of like a bowl and the drainage is really bad. And so that was something that I think would be a struggle. Also, like getting water to it and then,
Garden, it's not just
Yeah,
growth.
yeah, I mean, I guess that.
yes, like so it started out as she wanting to, like garden, cause she like loves to garden, and then like offering up the produce to the community. Like the people that live in that area, which like sounds really cool.
Yeah.
But again, like she's kind of been hit and miss as far as like communication, and so I don't even know if she's the person to do that. Like if she'd be a reliable kind of leader in that effort. And then she's like I told her it would be on the agenda tonight, and she isn't here. So I kind of think like, and I mean, now's the time to be planting things. So by the time she would come back in June, I think it would be too late. So I mean, it's
I think
something,
we would want more information and
yeah,
better planning.
yeah. So that's kind of where I was at. Like if she was here tonight and was able to kind of, make her case and things like that, I think I'd be more willing to entertain the idea, but I just don't think it's in the cards this year. Westview Park, so it's on your way in. It's right on the, yeah, right on 14 by the bank, right by the bank.
Yeah, they just got the new playground structure.
So down in there.
Yep,
okay.
down in there.
Not the one up on the hill.
No, it's down there.
Okay.
Yep, just got the new playground. The green and orange one.
Is there a lot of space there?
There's space.
I don't think this was going to be fun.
Gotcha.
No, I think it was just more so like it was something she was kind of doing at her own house, and she's wondering if she could move it into the park so that more people could feel like they could benefit from the harvest of.
Yeah, no, I like that. I just
Yeah,
thinking about people mowing and it doesn't get maintained, then you can
yeah.
remediate.
So I think there's a lot of questions, and I think, yeah, we just need her to be here to answer those
Yeah.
questions. So I think if she does like want to talk about it further, like I can put her on an agenda if she's able to make it to the meeting, but otherwise I think.
We still have the one down by the creek.
So that's, yeah, we were talking about that today, and I don't think so.
No.
So Michael Pomagowski was the person that was kind of handling that. I think he was kind of assigning people their plots and stuff, but there was a massive groundhog issue that would just eat everything.
Well, and the flood.
Yeah, and it was like
Yeah.
wet all the time.
I did it.
So I think he was just pretty much fed up with it last year, and
Got it.
I haven't heard
Yeah.
anything since.
It's just too wet.
I guess maybe I'm thinking more on a larger scale than if this person is really interested, maybe there's a better location. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
this could be a bigger thing.
sure. Yeah, maybe so. But yeah, I don't know if people have ideas of where that location could be.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I would leave it up to them.
Yeah,
Let them come to the
Yeah.
table, right?
somebody that's
Like,
proposing it.
Before I used to teach science, and one year I killed off a bunch of grass at school. And I had big plans for a garden, and then I switched positions. And it just went back to grass pretty quick. So, I mean, I don't think it's like. It's not the, I mean.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're doing a small garden, it's pretty easy to switch it back. Cause I saw it and you wouldn't even know that I had done all that stuff, so. But yeah, I agree, with maybe she. Expect the next year.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry,
Oh, you're good.
honestly, it's May in school, so I apologize.
We're almost there.
2 more Mondays. Let's see, not that I'm.
Yeah.
Number 4, discussion regarding Bear Park repairs.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give an update on all of the repairs. So as most of you know, in October, we had a vehicle drive through the Bear Park tennis courts and the nearby the baseball fencing for the small diamond. So we replaced the fencing right away. And then the tennis court surface and fencing still need repair, but back in on the April 27th meeting, the village board decided to replace it with sport court, the newest version of it. So there's a lot of discussion regarding draining, regarding, maintenance. So ultimately this has a 15-year warranty. It's a lot different than what was there before, because that was about how many years old? I think like
17.
17 years old, so it was in need of replacement. And Sarah, I know you toured
I did.
some of the
I
newer,
did go try and do.
the newer stuff.
Yeah, I was surprised at how much I did like the sport court.
So that's what the board went with. And so we picked like a blue court with a tan kind of.
Was it tan?
Wait, did we go tan? I don't know what we
No,
went with.
green.
Oh, we did go with green. Okay.
Why? Was it like a time sensitive thing, like just because that seems like something that,
So it absolutely had to be ordered that week,
okay.
the color.
Just because I would have normally felt like that would have.
Oh, absolutely.
Been
But
up
literally that week it had to be ordered. So
Driven
I'm
away.
sorry.
No, it's okay, I was curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see so I'm pretty sure he went, yeah, he did blue with green, and that's what they had at the court, he did look really nice.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
hopefully-
And this was paid by insurance, correct? Like, there
Yep,
was-
fully paid. Yep, fully paid by insurance. Yeah, so like what I had kind of presented to them was like the sport court versus just uh, fixing the concrete, and then it's like an acrylic coating that goes on top of it. But the maintenance on that is like 1 year, 2 years, even more.
Well, in the end, I was worried that who knows what board, what they would approve for keeping that up. The expenses, so I thought at least this way we have a guarantee that we've got yeah,
You got a tennis court for at least 15 years.
yeah, exactly.
And then after that, can do
Oh,
whatever.
that's wrong.
And then, yeah, and
We'll
then,
need another development.
well, I think that'll be harder to justify spending, it is expensive for this point.
So anyways, so that was voted on, and then they also voted to just fix the current fence. There was also a proposal to repair the whole fence. So that pretty much would have only worked, or replaced the entire fence, which would have really only worked if we would have gone with the acrylic option, which was significantly cheaper. And so it was kind of
So
just
spending
like,
the money more on the court versus.
yeah, that's what they decided to do. Which I was kind of surprised by, but I think, I mean, in the end, obviously it's gonna have less maintenance and hopefully,
You don't really need a fence as long as the fence works.
yeah. So, yeah, the only thing is that
Look at that.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping
You
it looks,
prefer a fence.
I'm hoping it looks okay.
it looks okay, I mean. A new fence would have been really nice, but it's okay,
Yeah.
but I am still hopeful that we can get a backboard.
So they decided on that, and then on April 15th, before that meeting, all of those storms caused the light pole on also the small diamond, but on the other side of the fence. So it fell on that, one of our lights fell down.
Yeah.
She just said small diamond, and then Becky just texted the word small diamond at the exact
Oh,
same time that you said small diamond.
Maybe it's because, yeah, we work together around the same way.
That's really weird, really weird, and like I looked and I'm like,
What? Anyways, so we are replacing that fencing, but now we're trying to figure out what we're doing with that light. And so that's kind of what I wanted to discuss tonight, was a little bit like, so we have 4 light poles that were installed in the 70s that are starting to rot.
are you saying that's old, things from the 70s?
Well, the wood's starting to rot.
Are you-
So we've got,
yeah, but yeah, so no.
so we've got some that are kind of leaning
Are these poles for the field or just general lighting for the?
for the
area?
field, baseball lighting. And so now we're in kind of a space of, so the insurance will pay for the
For
one.
the one.
But the lead time is 6 to 8 weeks,
You probably get a discount if you order. 2.
maybe. Stan Nunn offered up some sort of post he has at his farm. Like, or like maybe there's like some sort of temporary situation. It doesn't sound like any of these lighting companies offer anything temporary.
These look used pretty frequently.
So I was talking to him at Esser, and he said that, so we have like softball games beginning in June. So it's like 2 games a week that are gonna need the lights for the evening games. So it's, I mean, it's gonna be a chunk of lighting that's missing.
Me for now.
Well, I mean, yes, we could.
I'm just asking the question here, because I think,
I
has there
feel
been any discussion with the baseball teams that use it, or like other
Yeah.
fundraising? I mean, this is kind of
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
well, it's
yeah, we
like
could
the
get one
far-
replaced, but if we need all four, we need to come up with a plan then.
I think it's like the far left field, so I feel like, you know, that
Outside,
area,
It's gonna be dark.
it's gonna be dark, yeah.
Mhm.
Can I say two things?
Oh, please.
Are not appropriate. We may have a backboard for you,
Oh,
and we may have posts.
oh, cool.
If you could let me know how tall of a post you need.
Yeah.
'Cause we have a-
Totally appropriate if you can't.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Especially.
Didn't think you in mind. Yeah, but we'll look into both of those if you can let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks,
I
Jen.
mean, there's other options too, you know, being able to install that, I'm sure, within the community, right?
Yeah.
Like, if we need,
Yeah, well, then,
Yeah.
I mean, as we're talking about this, there would ever be potential to have the lights be able to light up the tennis court as well.
Mhm.
where you put a light on, you position the post so that you can put a light on either side of it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Mhm.
and it may not have to be perfect, but something's better
Yeah.
than nothing, right?
So basically what it sounds like is we're gonna have to come up with some sort of temporary solution for the rest of the season.
How much are they, I know you can rent the lights that are on booms, and I have no idea what that costs, but.
Yeah, I don't like
Yes, too.
through Sendal. I didn't know if those were, can you do it through for baseball lights specifically? Cause I know they do like street, oh, they do,
Sure.
okay, thanks,
I
Jeff.
would say they, some of the high school.
They have them at the high school.
Yeah, I was gonna
They
say.
have, the
Yeah.
lights at the high school were out in last year, I don't know, we placed those there.
They're still temporary, like sitting in the parking lot,
Yeah,
like just sitting there. I don't know what they're.
I'm sure like,
Maybe we just take
if
them.
you contracting or United Rental or.
They're
something,
they're at Glacier?
No, they're not, they were.
Oh, at the high school, okay.
Last thing I saw, I don't know if they're still there. But then, yeah, do you need some to store these weeks?
Yeah, well, I don't, maybe they bought them,
Well, maybe they were just sitting in the parking
cause I
lot.
know like the football game, they had them out. Or,
Okay, so anyway, so we'll look into some temporary options and just kind of see. So we got, so basically the one pole was slated to cost like 14 grand. So we have 14 grand already paid out by the insurance company. So we could use that for something temporary.
and these are, what are they currently, are they just like creosote poles? Like,
They're like, they look like telephone, yeah.
Yeah.
poles, yeah. And so we can look at some sort of temporary option, but I think, yeah, we're getting quotes. So Musco is the one that is the company that we used for the big diamond. And so we think that having the same company service both would probably be ideal. So
there's not a plan to replace the lights on the one pole, or would we be wanting to also replace the lights on the others to be LEDs or like?
well, I think, yeah, that's the other thing we're looking at is if we can replace everything to LED. Cause I mean, in the long term, that's gonna be the cost savings.
Well, if you're replacing the one being paid for with LEDs, and then you have these.
Then everything's gonna look pretty weird. So, yeah, and then I was also I was at a conference a couple weeks ago and I was talking to our insurance agent for the village. And he was saying too, that you can put in a claim for all four. Like just saying, you know, these are a risk, like
Yeah.
if a wind gust
Yeah, like
comes.
it just proved that one wasn't.
Yeah,
gonna-
it's a matter of time before you have to pay out the claims for these ones.
Yeah,
You know, can we?
and then we don't damage the fence.
Yeah.
Right, that's kind of what I was thinking, because he was basically saying it's not like your personal insurance where like when you place a claim.
It's all risk-based. They're
Yeah,
trying to
right.
Limit their loss.
Right, so it's different the way that our insurance company works. So I was gonna do it that way to see if what else we can get. But I just wanted to let everybody know where we were at on
Okay.
all of that, which is fun. We feel bad for Bear Park. But hopefully she's getting a glow up, so all this new stuff.
I feel like every committee I join ends up having some big, huge thing. Starts happening. Okay, so is that any more about the?
That's all I had.
Okay, so then the last piece is discussion regarding future pool planning efforts.
Oh, that's just the. Oh, I'll look at each other. Well, one thing, I did, finally, I will say it took me long, but I did give the finance committee, just the size of the pool that we had the concept of, so that they can look at what the operating costs will be, an estimate for a pool that size. And I included the picture and the size so that they understand that we're not at this
Yes.
point. Exactly.
Tell me how big the pool is and we might be able to help you with estimates. Cause we have 3,
For operating costs?
yes.
Oh. Trying to look.
I mean, I don't know where you got your.
At, okay. It would be about 12,700 square feet, and it would hold about 370,000 to 420,000 gallons.
About, and then you give this very specific
I
number.
know.
Give me those numbers again. please.
Okay, it would be 12,700 square feet approximately. And it would hold about 370,000 to 420,000 gallons.
372, 420.
370 to 420,
Okay.
yeah. And then, like, we are not planning any kind of, super tall water slide structure or.
Okay.
But
Or not.
no, we're not, no. We, right now we're planning. Lap pools, zero ducks, bedding heads, yeah,
All with it in one pool.
yes.
Okay.
We are trying to be thoughtful of how much staff it would require.
Cause Hawks has 0 entry, well, yeah, Hawks has 0 entry. How many lanes?
8.
Okay, cause Hawks is 0 entry, 8 lanes, so we might be able to give you some good numbers.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, diving.
Gives you a good ballpark here.
They have a slide, but that's just a small.
Yeah, let me check.
So something that's a good,
Just-
similar replacement, just modern, a modern replacement,
Okay.
right?
We're trying to go,
For the new pool?
Yeah, that plan.
Have you seen the picture?
No.
Big instruments and like.
I like that.
oh. Yeah, we tried really hard to get all the things we really, really want, but keep it somewhat manageable, but
Yeah.
it's just a concept at this point.
No.
You have a
So-
cost estimate?
Do. I can't remember right now, I don't even, I mean, at this point, the operating costs are kind of the big. I mean, the cost would be huge too, and I mean with, right now, I mean, costs are all over the place, but. Does anyone remember offhand what he had said? I thought it was 6 something, but I don't wanna say it was like 6 to 8 million,
Yeah, I thought it was more than 8.
yeah.
Well, there was I thought the 8 million one had like slides and stuff. Cause this was like sort of.
Is that for a building and parking, is that mechanicals, everything?
I don't know that. Parking.
And this was also from a few years ago, like,
Yeah.
it costs more now.
Yeah. How much do you think that would cost, Kate, today?
Probably 10 million.
10?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I felt like it was 8 or 9.
Yeah,
Do you know Ian at Hawksline? Yeah, so like, I just randomly moved today actually, but. I'm guessing that pool would probably be at least $100,000 for subsidy of it, if not more. But like, every place does it a little different, like some places don't charge the pool for water, some, like here they don't, but in Columbus, we got charged a water bill. So like, there's different ways that you can kind of make it look. Well, it's just the thing, like. You know,
And we live in the land of plenty.
I do at this point, they did share with me. Our current pools. These.
Just for a point of reference, I should write you and watch Hawks Landing,
It's about 6,500 square feet.
and that's a really nice pool.
But.
Yeah, why is theirs so much bigger?
Now, we don't have a diving well,
That must be pretty big, it looks pretty big.
our diving well's in our deep end. We don't have the
Yeah.
separate diving well, But we have a zero entry and 8 lanes.
Do you know, oh,
You could sit, well, it's, and still use that square footage versus.
Right, yeah.
So, it's like 65, that would make that area larger. Well, either or.
Yeah.
If you go towards zero entry.
So what he's saying is that you could go under 10,000 square feet and reduce your cost quite a bit.
I would think so.
yeah,
The 12,000 wasn't just the water though, like that was.
That's the square footage in the area, not the volume.
Oh, the area of the deck,
it says the vessel.
I'm assuming it's
approximately.
that's,
Yeah, that was.
that's big.
Yeah.
They said he said it is comparable to Middleton's.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. Cause they have slides.
But without the slides.
Yeah.
And then they have a diving. I mean,
This is all theoretical, so I think it's good to have a plan, it's good to have some funding sources, and then we need to come up with
well,
operating costs. And then how do we make it happen?
right, but I think, at this point, I feel like the board has to be okay with the operating costs before we can do any fundraising, is that?
And then you need to have a plan to do fundraising, because nobody wants to give money to something that's
Right,
may or may not happen.
right, exactly, so that's why I think the operating costs. We have to figure out a plan for that.
But again, if you make a smaller pool, the operating costs are gonna go down.
You're right. Well, and that could be part of.
And maybe those calculations can be done though, I mean, I'm
Right.
assuming you know how big of a pump you have, you know the current rate of electricity, you know you know how much chlorine you
Well,
could potentially need in this season.
Like I said, it depends on how you like skew your numbers, like. I mean, here, we're not getting charged water, that's the thing, you
Yeah.
know, Matt and myself are doing stuff at the pool, we're not on that wage. Like, there's
Yeah.
different ways, cause you might go somewhere else where they have the exact same pool, but it's like a extra $20,000-$30,000 subsidy. Cause they're just like making their numbers work a different way.
Yeah,
It just kind of depends on how you wanna roll with it, cause when I was in Columbus, like, literally, they split my wage from pool and rec, but my dental and everything was on there. Just so they got an accurate number, and that's why it was like $130,000 subsidy.
Mhm.
So it just depends on how specific.
how do you want to account for the numbers?
Yeah, cause like you said, there's always ways that it's kind of smooth.
Yeah, and I think that, but to your point, the board will help determine that, right? If they want to continue providing free water, then
Yeah.
you don't have to account for that.
But I mean, there's other ways that you can kind of change things up, like, I mean. I was just talking to Carly about it being open maybe a little bit too much, like, you know what I mean, like all of a sudden you start cutting off some weeks. Your biggest expense with staffing is dropping quite a bit.
Or you're out, or you're 4
Well,
hours every
right.
day.
Well, yeah, and bather load and everything else is just eating chemicals, but. You get to have a big, nice pool
They're
that.
not used.
Well, I
It's
think.
Not used, but not able to be open because of staffing or other
Yeah.
expenses.
You really think you need a pool as big as Middleton?
Well, not quite as big.
It's actually bigger.
I was just,
Kyle's looking at square footage of Middleton.
According to the pool guy, he said it would be similar.
I think that's a great question though,
Yeah,
because my personal opinion is no. I don't think it needs to be.
What is Middleton's, cause the 12,000 does seem very odd to me, and maybe it's. Cause the zero depth is not like angled in enough. And it's like flared way out.
just based off aerial, you don't need.
Yeah.
Freehand a little bit, there, we'll call it zero entry. And lat pool is about 10,500 square feet, and their dive well is about 1,500.
So that is 6 or 8 lane.
8.
So they're at what, 12?
Yeah. Cause in Columbus, we had a 6 lane with the zero depth and a slide plunge area, and that was, I think, around like 9 or something.
And
Yeah.
ours is 65.
well, I would like to. I wanna know what Evansville is, what their size is.
That one's really weird because of all the like things that they put in there with like the.
Yeah,
Cause they got the lazy river. and
I
stuff.
know.
And that one.
You know, look, they're in the.
Yeah, that one's a weird.
Here,
That
so.
one's weird. That
It's
one's
like a 3-year-old running joke.
I know
There
it
in
is.
the lazy river.
It is a really cool pool though, and that whole park is really great, but,
How big did you think it was, Kate?
For which one?
For Evansville?
That's a tough, It's probably a little over 10.
So
But it's
that would
weird
be
because they got
good,
that
huh?
lazy river and then they got like stuff in the middle of the pool. Like with the basketball hoops and other things like
Yeah.
that.
How did
Big
we
lot.
land at such a big pool? Like for
Well-
12,700 square feet,
We got.
as our
and-
proposed, the
Somebody,
proposed,
somebody asked for these specs, right? We want
Okay.
A lanes, we want 0 depth,
okay,
sure, they drew
and
it.
that's what they drew up for
Yeah.
us.
Well-
This is all from the pool guy.
Yeah, like I said, that 0 depth is just like,
It looks great.
most of 0 depths are flared in more.
Mhm.
That way it like comes to a nice peninsula that might be like
Right.
10-12 foot wide.
Well, I think like we can make these adjustments. I'm also hoping we can form some partnerships with our neighboring communities, which we.
I know.
don't wanna burn any bridges there, but you know, it's in their best interest to have a pool nearby.
What were the other like square foot ones that you got? Like,
What do you mean? Oh,
wasn't there
the
like 3 or
projections.
4 different pools?
I don't have that,
Okay.
but we can look at that again.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's the
Matt
report.
found it in the archives last,
Yeah.
or maybe it was Matt, or it's here, but.
Did you guys ever look at 2 separate pools? Cause if you have an accident in your pool and everything's connected, everybody's out. Whereas if you had 2 separate pools. And you had an accident in one, you don't have to close the other,
Separate from.
like Pioneer. Again, we have the 8-lane pool with the diving well in the deep end, which you wouldn't have to do, but then we have a. Rec pool, we call it, with the 0 entry, the slide and all the fun stuff, and that's about 2,800 square feet. And what's the other pool?
4,200.
So we're only at 7,000.
Yeah.
So Pioneer is only 7,000 square feet. And to me, it's if it's not the nicest pool around, it's right up there.
I think though, isn't there something with like the adaptive swim now that you have to have 0 depth entry?
Well,
You don't need the 0 depth, but you need 2 access points then.
Okay,
There's like, cause you got the 0 depth and then they probably have like some type of lift chair off of that. And then the other one's gotta have 2 of them. So that's why a lot of places just want the 0 depth and then a lift.
okay,
That's what we have
Right.
at Pioneer.
okay.
And you would know better than us, but I think there's a square footage rule too. If it's under a certain threshold, you don't necessarily need lifeguards.
Well,
Well, that's one definitely, municipal pools you're gonna need.
Well, yeah.
But you can like get by with less to some, some things. Because there's like certain quota numbers if you get to 10,000.
Yeah.
And obviously, like if you have 2, you guys probably have 2 licenses then for your pool, because it's 2 separate entities.
What do you mean Hawks and Pioneer?
Well, Pioneer, you need 2, you have 2 pools. Like if you have if you have a 0 depth, that's one pool, and then you have a lap pool, and it's not a ton of money, but it's just 2 different pools. Cause like in Columbus, we technically had 3 pools, but they were all connected. Cause we had 0 depth, we had a slide and plunge, and then we had a lap
If
area.
you have 2 pools, are they mechanically separate?
Well, theirs might be, it just depends on the way they do it.
It's, yes, I mean, there's.
You have two pumps, right? 2
Well,
chlorinating systems.
Different filtration, yes.
So there's more cost for that, but then you're
Yeah.
separated out.
Well,
I
maybe.
mean, it's gonna cost more than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got 2 pumps running, probably
So
2
that'll work.
heaters, right?
Yeah.
And 2 hoppers and stuff.
We could try to compare both pools and get that to you.
That'd be great. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's good info.
So, do you think then that? Just trying to think of like, should we be saying to the finance committee? I don't know. What?
Okay, like,
How do you think we should, how do you think we should move forward?
Is, to me, this is a big question with that though, right? Cause. This helps a lot,
To have like $1 million off of that.
right? So if you can commit to that, then. Does these other discussions go easier? I don't know the financial part, but I know that this is a big number, right? So
Right,
I don't know what the operating cost is.
I think that's why I guess I'm more focus on the operating costs. I mean, I get that, like. I don't know how we're going to come up with all the other money, but the operating costs is what's stopping the board from committing to this at this
Yeah.
point. Because the board can say, sure, we support, like, if we can get the operating costs figured out, the board can always say, okay, we can handle that operating cost. And we are okay with this cost of a pool. And then we have something to go from
Yeah,
and say, community.
I almost feel like we need that, like you said, you can hide these things, but I think we shouldn't. We should account for everything and then be like, well, if you give me free water, then this saves this cost. If you
Yeah.
have these amount of workers that can come from here and here, then that saves this line item, right? So line item everything out. Maybe that's not the best, but I'm
Yeah, I think
it's
once
very
the,
visible then.
I think the finance committee is doing some of this work, and then once they get it to us and say,
Does this make
it's way
sense?
more expensive, then we have to work at how can we
Yeah.
get
Was
it.
doing correct current operating costs then for water, for example,
Yeah.
because otherwise.
I feel like that's an easy one to
Some
like
people
use as
will
an
be like,
example,
oh my gosh.
maybe.
I can't possibly make that comparison if you don't try.
And I mean, operating cost of a pool depends on what breaks every year. A lot of times I would assume. I grew up with a pool and that's how it was in a residential pool.
I mean, so I guess you guys gotta figure out if it's even viable to have something that big. Cause
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
like, you know, this is a little foreign to me, only having like 18 staff members, you know, that pool being as big as it is, like. That you need double the staff. Otherwise, it's not gonna be
See, I
open,
think
and it's
this
not
is
gonna
the
be
type of
safe.
control that needs to be up. We need to think about that right away.
So like with that in mind, I mean, do you really need it to be that big? Like, and I hate to crap down ideas and maybe like it's not 8 lanes, it's 6, and I know that I'm throw a wrench in things. But like, if you have that much more surface area, I don't, like, you're gonna need at least another 10 guards, and you're gonna need a more dedicated like pool manager than just an 18-year-old kid there, or 20-year-old kid. Like, it's gonna have to be somebody that's a little bit more legitimate about stuff. And I hate to be that blunt about it, but like, I
That's
don't
what you
think,
should do, Kate.
fine, I mean, I guess I'd like to think that we have
You're
Matt,
very-
who's our.
Well-
Aquatic supervisor, I mean, we do have a position.
and I get you there, but like, it's still irrelevant if he's there, if I'm there, whoever it is, if you just don't have the amount of staff and.
Sure.
Cause like, you're gonna need to come up with more people and you're gonna need to bump up the wages. And then that's gonna cost more, cause the staff wages is your number one expense.
Right.
And, you know, we've obviously.
Yeah, I already can't keep the pool open if there's stingrays.
No.
eat, So.
Yeah,
And you know, that's one of those things where it might just not be able to look the same, and, you know, I'm. Obviously left Columbus and they're kind of like figuring out guard stuff and such, but like, I was like, stop being open till 8 o'clock, maybe the pool's just open 12 to 5. And then the rest of the night stingray stuff, that way we don't have to screw around with all these extra staff hours. But it doesn't need to be like run the same way, and it's the same thing, like you just said.
yeah,
Charlie, it's not open Memorial Day, it's after school ends, that we are cutting down so much in staff wages.
I think there's a lot we can do, I think we've just been taken in circles for 3
Yeah.
years, and so some of us are getting a little tired, like.
Yeah,
Everything we've been doing, and then everyone we talk to. They tell us to do something different, and so
well,
that's
prices
why I'm
keep
like.
going up every year
Yeah.
too, so then this money,
Well,
you need 10 more development, right?
Right,
Like,
and to be honest, what's
Just-
really happening is nobody wants to think about anything until Village Hall is done. And so, but I'm like, okay, but our pool's going to it's going to die, and then. People are gonna be angry. I mean, I'm probably going
The
to.
other option too, that I don't know how much has been thought about in the plan commission, is what we're doing with the old property where the pool currently is. If we're moving over here, that property has value.
We have a plan for that, I mean, there's a plan that's been done. It was,
But does it include selling it for revenue?
no,
Because I mean, that kind of helps the part of the problem too.
It's kind of tough on the libraries, they're like.
Yeah,
I don't disagree,
I
right?
mean, it's.
But we're
such-
pinching.
I know, but I also feel like. We have no village land as it is.
I agree,
So
and that's the whole point of this, that makes it hard, right? Because we're saying, we need the money so bad, take this back, right?
Right,
Potentially.
But, I mean, if you, I know that you guys got a different plan for that, but like, you couldn't put that pool in the current area.
No.
There's no parking.
No.
I mean, terrible.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
it already
one
is.
thing we agreed upon.
That's the one
That-
thing.
Village board did say.
Well, not everyone.
Well, no, but we voted.
I know, yes, the
agreed
vote
that-
wasn't. Yeah.
Well, we'll go.
The
at
decision
fair
was-
market.
Yeah, let me tell you, we talked
Yes,
about a lot
it
of
was
things
just not
that I
unanimous.
not agreed to, but it passed. And so we agreed it would go in there.
So what is the plan with the property then?
Well, ideally, well, I mean, nothing is in
Right.
stone, but
Yeah,
like
you don't have
ideally
any-
there'd be a splash pad there. Although
Oof.
I know.
More staff.
No, you
No,
don't.
not splash pad.
Splash pads
Just
are
maintenance.
terrible because they break stuff, especially the ones that have the electrical like buttons on them. I would never. want to-
Well, and then again, that property is
And
there and how many,
why would you waste money though on a splash pad and take away?
Love
But
them.
it's taken away from people that are going to a zero depth, because if you have a splash pad, just have a splash pad and then an 8-lane pool. And then
Oh, and-
just leave.
so this is another great idea then.
Oh, so, I mean, the library may want to expand, I mean, a park, I think. I think there's a lot, and also like the ice skating rink is there. So,
Their park is underutilized in the winter though.
yes, well, except for that when we have snow. Which is never.
Who knows if we'll get that again?
But when we do have snow, we have cross country.
You're also gonna have a pool hopefully over there, so you'll have better water, you'll have a water source. I mean. I just look at that property. I actually think that's a great idea. You put the splash pad by the pool and you sell that property off or some part of it off and you get 250,000 for it. Again, that's outside the scope of this room, but
It's a lot, I think people are there's a lot of people very upset about losing pools, so that's part of it too.
in that location. Well, yeah, because it's in town. You live there because you want to go by that pool.
Yeah, well, some of us moved there because we
Yeah.
wanted to be by the new
Right.
pool that was
Yeah.
supposed to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
That you don't have.
actually, it was
Yeah.
supposed to be opening about now. So that's, I mean, that's the problem. They've been talking about this pool for 8
Yeah,
years.
just, and it keeps getting more expensive.
Yeah, but 8 years ago, they said in about 7 years. We'll have a new pool. That's not happening. So. I don't know, I feel like when. I don't know what to do. Hopefully this summer I'll have some more time that I can think more about it, but
So right now it's just at the finance committee.
yeah.
And
But I don't know if we should give them more, like if anyone wants to go through those old. Like the diagrams of the pools, we could look at like.
I think
Or we could
understanding
start-
the costs and having real world experience that Kate
Yeah.
has, I think utilizing that is really important here because like I can come up with an opinion and tell you what I think and try to sell you on it, but I don't.
But I mean,
I swim in the pool,
like,
I don't.
Odd people get that feedback before though, that nobody was like, that's as big as Middleton's pool, are you guys sure you know what
I
you're
know.
doing?
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
And I'm not like trying to like
No, I
cast
agree.
any aspersions on what was, but I, like, that really caught me off guard to hear that that was the same size.
Close.
It, like, it did not seem to be that big when it was being talked about.
You live in Cross Plains because you don't want.
So that feasibility, I think that was before I came. So that report was presented to the village board and they were like, we accept this or what
Well, we
happened
don't
with that?
accept it.
And it was just like, just shared. Okay.
I think acknowledge.
I think-
Acknowledge.
I'm just, I don't know. I'm kind of frustrated because I feel like our committee was kind of steered in the wrong direction. So, I
Yeah.
feel like we've had a lot of wasted. time. So, and we're made up of people who have not, so it's challenging. But I think maybe if we start researching other pools and try to get sizes. Because I think it's like, when we look at the drawing, we're like, oh, it looks great. But until, you see some of these pools in reality.
And what the
because-
cost is, right? Because all the pictures always look great.
Like, would it be useful to look at like all the places the stingrays swim? Like all of those pools? Are they all not, you don't want anything like those?
Don't want to look at the Dallas for sure.
Well, I mean, I would say, well, in Sunbury, but then they just pull, That's the one.
They're
we said
renovating.
very
They're closing.
Closed off that little chunk.
And that's a separate pool.
They're doing a renovation that was like $7 million. It's crazy.
I
just
think we
why
like
yesterday-
pool for that much.
But they had to lay off a bunch of staff. Well,
Well, that whole.
because the referendum didn't pass. Okay.
Well, now I'm curious about their pool.
Sun Prairies.
No Hawks Landing.
Oh,
Been there.
it's nothing that crazy.
I'm sure we can get a tour.
Yeah, Ian's a good guy.
Do we
Like, I'm sure Jeff would do
So,
it.
but you think, so then what's the other place that just got a new pool that's opening this summer?
Randall?
Randolph.
Oh, it's the trash pool.
Okay, but I mean, like, honestly, that would
They-
also, I mean, I kind of wish though I could like see it,
They're-
to see an example of what we don't want, and you
This
know,
is like-
that it's.
Yeah, I think they spent like maybe $4 million
They did
on it.
sell, they did.
And they have like 3 or 4 lane lines, there's no sliding, it's like. In a park, but it's like, and if they were coming to ours into Columbus, to check it out, and it's like this weird 0 depth, but once again, they don't have a huge community there, it's like 1,000 or something people. So
Right,
and,
no, I agree,
but like they shouldn't have built that just because. The person that used to run it was like all of their kids' friends would run it, and now they're subbing out their lifeguards to the Y. So like, it's gonna cost them a ton.
What's Columbus's population?
Look at that school,
So
to be
when
honest.
it was built, it was 44.
Kind of what I
And now
pictured
it's up to
supposed to be, like,
51.
I guess I didn't, sorry, I didn't realize that ours was so much bigger.
I mean.
Because that's actually
like
more what I.
100,000,
Without the Y.
like
Oh,
$120
so
of subsidy, so.
Mhm.
according to a very short, terrible Google search AI overview, Evansville's is 8,917 square feet,
So 9,000.
and it's 6 lanes.
The 8 lanes is hard, I mean, I think if you don't have any affiliations with the team, but like, they want it to be 8 lanes so that meets run faster. And because if it's 8 lanes, then they can host events at our own pool, rather than having to pay the money to rent out, another pool. I don't, I'd be curious, like, if you had the same exact pool, one with 6 and one with 8, like, what would be the differential?
Yeah,
Because I do think, like, it kind of seems like if you're gonna build a new pool, why would you not just have?
It's
8
kind of
lanes?
your example, the 3 or 4 lane pool.
Yeah, that's just, I like, as a former coach, like, I would love 8 lanes, but I also can acknowledge you can't build a pool solely for like swim team. But like, the nice thing for an 8 lane, just thinking about it, like. That allows you not to do as much maybe in the shallow end, and then you can have like other things in the deep end to like work off of. And then there's still space for a bunch of other people and things to do, but. I don't know, what I'm gathering is like, obviously, you can't like build it solely for a swim team, but you also need the swim team. To like keep the pool staffed.
Well, and
That's
I
the other
mean,
thing.
some people on the village board seem to think that the swim team should build the entire pool, cause it's just for them. And so, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like.
And, you know.
I took Cameron to task for that already because
I didn't mean him, for the record.
we had a nice argument about it.
No, it's someone else,
It's
it's just
like
like,
community pool, and it's not that I don't want stingrays to have access to it, but if you make the stingrays pay for it, then it's hard to keep the community having access to it. And like cutting evening hours, like then I would never be able to go, like that made me really nervous when that came up. Cause 12 to 5 cuts out anybody who isn't at home with their kids during the day, during the summers.
When I went, it was always after 6, when, that 6 to 8 time frame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, now I'm feeling, so I did just send him the information, and now I'm thinking like. I don't know, again, because I love the Evansville pool so much, I would be so happy to get a pool like that. So then I'm thinking, maybe we should be saying more of a 9,000 square foot pool,
Get a quote for 6 and an 8 lane with zero depth and any other.
yeah. I know, but we already, well,
but if they determine the operating costs for what you already sent them, and we look at something smaller, the operating cost would be
that's
less.
the other way.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
So,
okay. So that's kind of our starting point, and then we work back.
So operating costs are gonna go up by the time this pool gets built, even if we have the money right now.
How are they coming up with the operating costs? Like, are they just?
Current.
They have a worksheet.
AI.
Well, I mean,
That's what I don't understand.
You'll
like-
probably send what his operating costs were for last year, but to your point, is everything?
I know,
Yeah, I mean.
right now, what, he sent me a full budget sheet that includes membership money,
Sorry, I just looked at my.
swimming lessons, day fees, concessions, and profits, I'm sure of that. And then employee wages, water, sewer, gas, electricity, chemicals, insurance, maintenance, technology. I don't know, I'm not sure where.
That's a J spreadsheet, isn't
Yes.
it?
Starting point,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So. But I mean, I don't really feel like we can do any fundraising until we get the board to say.
Is you can do fundraising with the assumption that you're gonna build something, but then you might have to have a plan about what you're doing with that if you don't.
Yeah, that's why.
That's the hard part.
I think it's too hard, and I feel like we've gotta have a picture and.
Yeah, unless you're going for big donors, that'll be like, yeah, we'll write you a check. And we'll
Well,
write you this much, but the plan has to be in place first,
I mean, the
right?
other, yeah,
I mean, you could still go after bigger donors that way, but you're not gonna
Right.
get the $100 donors.
well, that's why we were talking about like. To get letters of support, then we kind of
That
pause
was
on
it.
that a bit, because if we did letters of support, we could also kind of say, we're also looking for a. Founding supporter, who could, because like, they were trying to get a facility built. There was a group that was trying to build a. Athletic facility,
Yeah.
the baseball center.
Yeah.
Rec- What was it called, like a rec complex?
Rec center, but it was
Rec-
for big.
They had
Currently
people
some
who were
signs.
basically, they
Huh?
were
You saw the
getting,
sign?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
There was still a sign for the rec center, like donations at
Yeah.
Remington's.
yeah. Well,
We saw it when we were out. to
I don't know
lunch.
what, well, they still though are working on a facility in another one.
Oh.
But, a private. Or not village land. So, but anyway, I think we're gathering pledges. So like, we could do something like that, like, is there anyone out there who would like to sit, like?
I mean, just looking at the Lions Pavilion, like, seeing that the amount of support, I guess, from. I was surprised by some of the donations, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. Right.
Is there more of that if you really push, and I don't know who. Is in charge of like that, fundraising effort, do you even hire, cause I know we talked about this, do you
Yeah.
hire someone that does fundraising? To bring these folks in, right, cause it doesn't need to just be from the village, right, it can
Right.
be.
And potentially, and
surrounding
I
area.
feel like until the board says that they're okay with the pool.
Yeah, you're not gonna hire someone, but like, I mean, I think those are viable options to go after funding.
I agree.
I don't know what we need to start a pool. Do you need half the money? Do you need all of the money? Like,
Well, I think-
what is the end goal here?
Right, well, and I don't think the board is not opposed, like, I think most members have actually said that they're okay. Like, they actually would be okay funding a big portion of the pool. I think enough board members would be okay funding a big portion of the pool, because we can borrow, like,
Yeah, we're not even close to our
we
borrowing
do have
capacity.
room for that, and also the Stingrays have already started fundraising, they already have the funds for things swim team related. Which I feel like that's pretty huge, so.
I think, yeah, to me, going after those bigger donors.
I mean, I mentioned to every person I talk to, if they know a millionaire, send it my way, who wants to build a pool, so.
Who's talking to
Just
PI?
my phone to ring, we'll see, so.
Maybe you could have Jeff talk to PI.
They just keep me. They're gonna pay for one of my robots. Yeah, so, okay, well, once school gets over. I will try and start.
Which is
getting
like
to
in
more
a couple
posts.
weeks, right?
Yes. But otherwise, I'm just feeling like we need this operating cost thing to get worked out with the board.
But I think also like, I'd like to start kind of brainstorming, I guess we could, maybe at a meeting, we could have on there like brainstorm ideas for how we can. Or maybe that's something we do before the next meeting, is we all can think about what are ways that we could support the operating costs. Does anyone want, I mean, is it too early to start talking to other municipalities?
About operating
About-
costs?
Yeah, like a partnership,
I don't think so.
so,
Shortly after, they're gonna wanna know what we want, what we can build, right? Like, how big is it gonna be, how much is it
Yeah.
gonna cost, so that. They
I
have
know,
operating
that's
costs,
why-
but like, you
Right.
kinda need it to happen quick enough so that you can keep building momentum.
right. Well, that's the thing where it's like, do we start saying to municipalities, like, this is something. Kind of hoping for, we don't have any numbers yet, but how interested are you in helping support a pool in Cross Plains?
I feel like you plan it around, we're gonna take care of it, and then if you get them, then that just makes. It easier on the village, right? Like, we
Yeah.
wanna build an 8-lane pool, so we're gonna
Well,
try to figure out whether we can do
building-
that.
I mean, like annual expenses, like they're going to.
But they may not wanna be involved if it's only a 6-lane pool, right?
Oh,
Like,
I
or
see.
they may not wanna be involved if we don't have 0 depth or a slide or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like, so. Provide, like,
But they're too great.
yeah,
Are there kids on stingrays from the towns?
Oh, yeah, you can, anyone can be on stingrays with, in Middleton, Pennsylvania, and we have waivers and there's.
Oh, they just have to be in the school district.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say about that is if you're looking for other places to maybe foot some of the bill. Like, do we charge non-resident resident rates here?
Yeah, and that was kind of the point, was like, maybe
But you-
now you're gonna get, people are gonna get resident rates.
Yeah.
If you,
That's another thing, or it's just like another staff, they're sending another to the like software, you gotta think about like. Doing, cause like we would just, it was only the city of Columbus. Sun Prairie doesn't charge resident or non-resident for day passes, everybody just gets the same fee. But people in Sun Prairie aren't happy about that, because if people from Madison, yeah, because ultimately, like. I don't know what a membership is here, but it costs a whole lot more when you factor in your subsidy amount than a non-resident. So
Yeah.
like some places just say, screw it, we're gonna triple. The price, you know, like I think Evansville. They had some weird pricing going on their first year open, and I wanna say now it's like $15 for a non-resident or something, like. They just went and ballooned it up because like, it's not even close to what the taxpayers pay.
Right,
When you factor in. the
well, that's
social-
why I thought if some of these. Municipalities wanna pay an annual fee. Then,
well, then you give them the rate, cause.
Yeah.
How much different is the season rate resident non?
well, and
Even if it's double, you're still getting,
it's not that, I don't think it's that.
that's what I mean, you're gonna get more money from. A joined
Right, well, then it's
municipality
a
than you're gonna
guaranteed
get, yeah,
amount too.
Mhm.
and
So
you
then
can budget
that's
around it.
something we can count on. And I think we're kind of unique here where like people from Middleton aren't going to say, oh, I'm gonna join the Cross Plains pool, especially right now. I mean.
That's where they live, if they live on airport road,
Yeah.
they
Hey,
may.
bye.
Like, I don't think many people drive out to Cross Plains. I don't think anyone does.
I knew people that were on swim team that lived off the airport road, they didn't wanna be on Gator.
Right, but did they ever go to the pool on the weekend? Like,
If it's a nice pool, like,
no, I think they will. I think
Yeah.
currently, I don't think currently, like, everyone's gonna just go to the Middleton.
They-
And so
They do because they don't get checked when they come in and they don't pay, right, so then they know they can come in. I know that's been a thing.
Yeah, I just don't, I think like people will just go to the Middleton pool, 'cause it's so much nicer. But I think, if we build this. We build it, there's
only $30 more for non-residents.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
not-
it was about 20,
Yeah,
it's
it's
about 35 versus
30 bucks more.
165.
To your point, it could be 4 times that.
yeah.
So then you might as well ask for the money and charge them resident fees and call it a day, and you're still better off.
But I think, well, and again, that's another thing we'll look at is. Okay,
I
Is there
got
anything
one more
else?
question,
Oh, go for it.
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's good.
How much did they spend on the first, like, all those engineering run-up?
A lot.
And it was through architecture.
But no,
Well, it was like 30.
didn't we have money?
We did, it's
Like-
like, it was like, I think it was maybe 30,000. And we, it's like, that's where they analyzed our existing pool and told us how terrible it was.
Mhm.
And then looked at the different spaces and gave us recommendations. And then gave us recommendations for the size of the pool.
I think asking those hard questions when they're doing those is absolutely.
Right,
They're-
but I think. I just think at the time, there were different recommendations being made. Yeah, and that
Well,
kind
you
of
don't know what you have to spend.
made us not very productive.
You don't know how much you're gonna have and what you can afford. And you get these cool plans, and everyone loves them, and then
Right,
the bill comes, right, or the estimates.
right, but I think that I did not realize how much the operating cost was really stopping us.
That wasn't brought up once, that entire time.
Why would it? You know what I mean? Just like build it, because
I think
you'll figure it out as you go.
there were a lot of factors, so I think there's different.
Well, there was maybe a perceived plan with benchmarks, and that was not one of the things we
No.
were supposed to be considering.
I think people's motivation for wanting. It's factor too, so there's some of that. And. Some of us just trying to figure it out, like this is not.
Not your area. of
Not my
expertise.
wheelhouse, no.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go to a bank answer.
Yes.
Woo.
Right,
Okay,
in sixth
all right,
grade band.
well, let's see what we can research, and maybe we can kind of look at. That information that we did get years ago now. And come up. All right, then, sorry, I'm off.
The other thing to think, sorry to bring this up, and I know I brought it up before, the other thing is demolition of the old site, right, and what that costs, because to me, that's still part of the cost of building the new one.
Yeah.
But you can hide those costs in other ways.
Seems to think that that
No,
was
it's not
like,
kind of like that, is a.
Not a big
pretty
deal.
Minimal, yeah,
Rent a backhoe and dig it up.
I don't know,
Use this concrete,
I mean, it's
yeah.
pretty much falling apart anyway.
Sure.
so, like,
And the building,
Well,
with the
just-
building, we can blow over
We
it.
just invite the swim team, everyone can come and take a piece of the pool, and they'll just. say
And then, yeah, everybody will have a piece and then it'll be gone.
Maybe we can have dogs go in it one last time,
Yeah,
since nobody will ever swim in it again.
yeah, well, they used to do that apparently.
I did hear about that.
Out of principle, I would not allow that. I can't stand dog swims, they're so bad. Maybe they just wrap filters.
Oh, gosh,
I
yeah.
bet.
My dog
Gross.
are jumping.
I got 2 labs, they love it.
All right, so, does someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn for the night.
A second. All those in favor say aye.
I
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion passes.